Ladies and gentlemen, this is Professor John Gotti here with Doc Lesnar, the podcasting beast. And Doc, I just got word from Adrian Wojnarowski that Debate Amongst Friends and the New Orleans Pelicans are discussing a trade. Apparently, Scott, our financial person, wants to trade for Anthony Davis to replace both of us on the podcast. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
And that, folks, is exactly how the NBA trade deadline has shifted. Because we're getting stories for everywhere. Now, everyone wants Anthony Davis. And the Pelicans want everyone to come to New Orleans and replace for Anthony Davis.
Do you feel that they shouldn't?
I feel like they're going to have a better shot of making a trade happen at the end of the season in the summer than right now. Because a lot of teams that want Anthony Davis, or at least on his main primary suitors list, won't have as much assets to ascertain towards this trade until the summertime. Primarily places like Boston, even my Knickerbockers as well. The Lakers right now do have all the pieces to bring in, but greed is good, a certain Wall Street tycoon on a movie once said. And now the Pelicans are asking for 4 first-round draft picks plus all those players on the Lakers. And those players are all the ones that had issues with the current head coach, soon-to-be ex-coach, Luke Walton.
Can I be honest and say that those players aren't really worth anything?
I know that. You know that.
You know it too.
A good percentage of the people out there, they should know that too.
Because all of them all of them don't play team basketball. Each and every last one of them, with the exception of maybe Lonzo Ball and Rajon Rondo. But ultimately, Lonzo Ball doesn't want to play in New Orleans. I don't know how that works, if he's going to hold out or whatever the case may be. But ultimately, the first round picks for the next 4 years, really wouldn't be that great depending on how the Lakers do this year. But you think about it, if they're able to retool next year and the year after that, then those are going to be late 20s, late 20 picks. Well, anything with Kuzma, you have to take Kuzma.
Kuzma's what he's just like how you said.
That's the minimum.
I know.
Minimum.
Just like how you said, needs to be on every single deal for Boston.
Jason Tatum, that's correct. Jason Tatum needs to be on every. And I saw a report that said that they want Jason Tatum, which I don't blame. You have to go for Jason Tatum, or you have to go for Kuzma. Only thing about it is, when you watch this game against Golden State, you saw Lance Stevenson out there shooting threes. It would look like he was off balance for the most part. You had Kyle Kuzma looked okay.
Don't go in Lance. He's from my neck of the woods.
I don't care where he's from. He needs to stop what he's doing. You had Michael Beasley out there. Michael Beasley thinks he's still in China, and he could just beat everybody off the dribble. And don't get me wrong, I love my Dukies, but
I wasn't gonna go there at all. I was gonna let you have this one.
Listen, I love my Dukies, but Brandon Ingram, I don't know what it is about his game, but he needs to refine it, and he needs to go out there and gain about 15 to 20 pounds. Even if he's gained weight, he needs to gain more weight. But ultimately, I think even with the first round picks, I still don't think this trade is equal.
Here's the funny part about this. And you mentioned retooling, which I would agree. If the Lakers are looking to try to retool, get back into rebuilding mode, it'd be great. But there's one big, receding hairline factor out there, and that's LeBron James.
What about him?
He's not going to want to just sit there in rebuilding mode. But that's why he went to the Lakers.
But are they going to be in rebuilding mode? Think about it. Brandon Ingram, I just told you, he can't really play. Losing Kuzma is the biggest thing. They're still going to have...
That's their second leading scorer.
Right now, because LeBron's not playing. Of course he's the second leading scorer. LeBron's not playing.
No, he was the second leading scorer with LeBron Wait, what?
Well, LeBron? How many games did LeBron play? 16, 17. They said.
He didn't play 17 games. So, and I wanted to talk about that with you too because I thought that was pretty funny. But, yeah. So with the Warriors game, that's 17 games that he missed.
He missed.
He did play against the Clippers, and he's playing tonight against the Pacers.
Okay, so right now Kuzma is the second scoring player, which makes sense.
Correct.
Because nobody else on the roster, with the exception of Lance and Michael Beasley, maybe Josh Hart, nobody else is really. None of these other guys are really scorers. You know, they might score in transition.
They're people who can't really make their own shots.
And that's basically mean they can't score. I mean, they can put the ball in the basket, of course, but sure, if we want to be technical about it, they can't create their own shots, which technically Lance Stevenson and Michael Beasley believe that they can.
Oh gosh.
You know, so you think about
anyone but you, Lance.
If you think about it, they get rid of Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, Kuzma, Rondo, potentially Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Michael Beasley, and Lance Stevenson, right?
Yep.
They're going to have left over, whoever they get back from the Pelicans. They're going to have Alex Caruso, Isaac Bonga, Jonathan Williams, Mo Wagner. They're still going to have Josh Hart. They'll have Tyson Chandler. They'll have, they might lose Zubac as well. So they'll have about 5 or 6. Well, they have about 8 players, depending on who else they bring in. But you think about it, they're going to get Anthony Davis. So LeBron and Anthony Davis to pair with Tyson Chandler, Josh Hart, Mo Wagner, Jonathan Williams, Bonga, and Alex Caruso. I mean, it's going to be tough because they're going to really need to go out and basically find another point guard, which you never know. They might be able to pick up somebody. Maybe they have somebody in mind already, or maybe they get a point guard in return with this particular deal. But I don't think it's going to force them into direct rebuild mode, because you think about it, LeBron's already missed so many games. He's probably doing this on purpose because he knows that this year doesn't really matter.
Of course.
So he really has a 3-year deal with the Lakers.
Yeah.
So
he basically is using this, and let's go there, because so he came back to play against the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
He played 40 minutes. Then he didn't play against the Warriors, and now he's playing tonight.
Yeah, he said he had pain. I mean, that's what they said. He had pain. He didn't even come out on the floor at the game.
No.
You know.
He was chilling back there in
the locker room.
Back in the cut.
Watching it on TV.
Like that, should rub a lot of people the wrong way. Not Luke Walton, calling people out in the locker room after the game. Rub people the wrong way.
I mean,
like that's the leader of your team, and he's not even there. He wasn't even in the locker room when that stuff happened. So
I know they had high expectations for Luke because of what he did with the Warriors, but I mean, this just isn't the Warriors. Let's say coaching the Warriors is kind of like coaching on easy.
Are you trying to say that Luke Walton is overrated as a coach?
He might be. He might be. I mean, think about it. Coaching the Warriors, so anybody can get wins when you have basically 4 or 5 All-Stars on your team.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not downplaying him as a coach, but he knew going into LA he had an uphill battle.
Absolutely.
But I mean, I don't want this show to be all about LA. I mean, that's just the first trade of many. But ultimately,
because most of those trades kept talking about, and I already told you, as soon as it's about to hit the trade deadline, what's going to happen? They're going to talk about all these different players that can come to the Lakers and help out LeBron James.
Well, here's the thing that I found to be the most interesting is that I think that had the Lakers not been so infatuated with getting Anthony Davis, they could have been in play for Porzingis.
Yep.
Could you imagine if they would have got Porzingis?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you think about it. If they would have traded for Porzingis, even though it would have been ridiculous, and then they still traded for, because I mean I think you could have got Porzingis for some Tims and a bag of Skittles with a bacon, egg, and cheese with salt, pepper, ketchup. But
Well, it also doesn't, hurt them the fact that he's still on his rookie contract too.
Exactly. So you think about it. They would have got him on his rookie deal. They still could have probably traded for Anthony Davis with LeBron and not have given up all these pieces. But they're so enamored with this Anthony Davis trade. Now, don't get me wrong. There's still some trade to be made. I mean, the Knicks have a few pieces that are looking to be moved. I think looking at the buzz so far, the one name that's come out today that I've noticed is Marc Gasol.
Yep.
Apparently, Marc Gasol, there was a trade rumor that he could be on his way with a deal with Mike Conley to join the Raptors to replace Valanciunas and Kyle Lowry, which I don't think they would really touch the Raptors.
I don't think that's a good. I don't think that's a good trade at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either. I like Marc Gasol, but I don't think so. It seems like they're just kind of throwing it out there just to get a feeler.
Yeah. But if I'm the Raptors executive, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't pull the trigger on that one at all.
I wouldn't either. Now I do see that Mike Conley's name seems to be thrown out there really heavily.
Mm-hmm.
I've even seen Mike Conley, a deal for him including the Detroit Pistons, who are looking to upgrade from Reggie Jackson.
Which, that wouldn't be terrible, actually. That would actually probably improve the team's win share by maybe 5.5, just off the top of my head.
I think that would be good. I mean, I like the Pistons. I think they have a pretty, significant squad. I think they're still building. Mm-hmm. I saw in the draft, they had them slated to take someone like Cam Reddish, who I think would, come in and be a solid contributor.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've seen it last year where there were stars who were traded and we were just sitting there scratching our head, like when Blake Griffin was traded.
Mm-hmm.
How random was that?
Yeah, but I think Doc was, and I mean Doc Rivers, not that podcasting beast right there.
Of course.
Was just tired of Blake Griffin.
I don't blame it. I mean, it's one of those things that, I expect somebody to be traded. I think the KP trade was already, shocking enough. But, I mean, there's some other people that you would think that, teams might be calling for, with John Wall's injury. Maybe the Wizards are like, hey, listen, maybe we should take a call or two about Bradley Beal and see, what the interest is. Maybe Blake Griffin's on the trade block again. Highly doubtful, I know. But I think another name that comes up continuously, and that's Kemba Walker.
Yes.
Now, Kemba, who I think is on his last year of his deal, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're right.
He is somebody I know my brother was like, I wouldn't want to give him a max contract, but he's somebody that's probably going to demand a max contract.
Absolutely.
And if the Knicks, who I'm hoping that this doesn't happen, I don't want to put any bad juju on your team, but if the Knicks strike out with getting Kyrie, I assume Kemba would be next up in line.
I would actually agree with you. I believe that would probably most likely end up being the case.
Unless Kemba's their first choice in the first place.
I doubt it.
Hey, do you love wrestling? Do you consider yourself a mark? Maybe even a smark? Maybe you're the casual wrestling fan or the diehard. Well, we've got the podcast for you. Marking Out Amongst Friends with Lady Great One and Jay Ritty. Every Thursday at 8:30 live on YouTube. Check it out. Subscribe today. I mean, looking at the trades, outside of Marc Gasol, who I think the Grizzlies have been looking to move for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Outside of the Anthony Davis trade, nothing seems imminent. And I think the Lakers are going to miss out because if the Milwaukee Bucks, like I said, who haven't put in a trade offer yet, but if the Milwaukee Bucks go ahead and put in a deal for Anthony Davis, and I'm even watching this video where the Clippers put in a trade, which this one doesn't look too good. Looks like it's Tobias Harris Gortat and Avery Bradley for Anthony Davis and Solomon Hill. I don't really like that deal, but I think that if these other teams start putting in deals, it's going to put the pressure on the Lakers.
I feel like you're going to be completely right, and it's going to lead to the Lakers making a boneheaded move.
4 first-round picks and your entire slew of ball hogs.
Yep.
I mean, when I put it like that, it doesn't seem too bad. And I think that the Rockets set the precedent for this first-round pick scenario. Because you think about it, the Rockets were willing to give up 4 first-round picks for Jimmy Butler.
Yep.
So they're like, wait a minute, now if they was going to give up 4 picks for Jimmy Butler, I mean, let's see what we can squeeze out of this. Magic Johnson's a pretty new general manager. Let's see if we can squeeze some magic out of him.
Executive of the team.
I mean, executive, GM, he's pretty much calling the shots here.
Basically.
Yeah, I mean, he's still pretty fresh though, and they're gonna squeeze him.
I feel like if another team presents an actual good offer, because the Lakers already put out an offer to the Pelicans. The Pelicans gave them back the 4 first-round picks plus those 4 players.
That was their counter. Yeah, that's what I said.
That was their counter.
Yeah.
And the Lakers are currently, they said that, that's too rich for my blood. And they're saying that they're out.
That's what they say.
But I don't think that they're out at all. In fact, I believe that they're probably trying to conduct their checks and balances to make sure that they don't cripple the team for the next 5 years.
They will.
To, give them a chance to make it to the playoffs for this year.
Because you think about it, I mean, if they give up these 4 first-round picks for the next 4 years, I mean, even though they'll be able to get others by through trades and whatnot, but I mean, you're talking about 4 years where LeBron, he's going to be up there. You don't know if he's going to be able to play another 4 years. Anthony Davis, after LeBron leaves, if they're unable to secure another star, he'll basically be, with a team similar to the Pelicans that he has now.
Yep.
So I think if I'm him, I'm thinking about my future. I honestly agree that, and I've been saying this, the Bucks are his best choice.
After you first presented it to me, I'm like, maybe. And then after re-looking at it, it is the best spot.
I wish he would just turn on Debate Amongst Friends and say that Doc has something here.
No, they only do that when we, say that they suck or, they always brick all the time. And then they decided to score like 45 points.
Because you think about it, if the Bucks were to bring in Anthony Davis to go with Giannis, think about it, 2 big guys. If they're able to keep Brook Lopez, they can kind of move Giannis and let him play that point forward. He don't have to rebound anymore as much, but they're gonna have exclusive rebounding.
Yep.
It would be ridiculous. It would be ridiculous.
They're saying that Chris Middleton would be part of the trade. In fact, they don't actually need to put in any draft picks. They could just do straight up players to players trade for Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I think we said Middleton, Thon Maker,
Middleton, Thon. No. So one video I saw was Middleton, Bledsoe, and Ilyasova.
They probably would just throw in
for Solomon Hill and Anthony Davis.
They probably would throw in Maker just to, Oh, maybe they don't need to throw Maker in there because he would get more time if they moved Ilyasova.
Yep.
So I think they should do it.
Grizzlies is looking to try to get Sabonis from the Pacers. A lot of teams just trying to make some moves. But a lot of these are all pure speculations.
Absolutely.
That's about the Mavs potentially trying to make a new deal. that would involve getting rid of your boy Harrison Barnes and Dwight Powell.
I mean, he's not really my boy, but I mean, I think you wanted him to get a max contract player.
Oh, we both know that is not true. Stop it.
You know you wanted him to get that.
I was like, he is not deserving of the max contract. You looked at me like, why are you hating? I'm like, because he's not a max contract player.
I mean, he was a max contract player at the time. I mean, he could play defense.
No.
He could knock down jumpers.
No.
You know, I know, North Carolina Tar Heel fans loved him out there.
No.
I mean,
he was part of the reason why the Warriors lost that year. Because they was like, oh, just make Harrison Barnes shoot it. Make him beat us.
Wow. I mean, ultimately, it would be... honestly, I think they should keep him there for the remainder of the year and trade him in the summertime, because I think that it would be interesting to see him and Tim Hardaway Jr. play together.
Yeah. But if they're trying to look at it based off of, trying to sign Porzingis long term, or at least to a qualifying offer. Barnes is on the books for the 2020 season for $25 million. I mean, I'm pretty sure they would love to try to get that off their books.
I mean, honestly, this is just my inner GM playing here. I mean, Harrison Barnes isn't too bad defensively. I wouldn't be so hesitant to say, come on, make a call down the road to Houston and see what they're willing to part ways with.
I don't think they're willing to do that to a division rival.
I mean, I'm just saying, they can look down the road and we might be able to take them on.
I get it. I get it. In fact, they was talking about potentially doing a apples to apples trade for Otto Porter, actually. Harrison Barnes for Otto Porter, which actually I wouldn't hate that deal at all. Or potentially like a Tobias Harris, because he would have to get re-signed and they could try to negotiate his way down, and he's going to be playing with a team that's on the rise.
Right.
But, I mean, I could see Harrison making it to Houston.
It's probably not going to happen.
I just don't know how healthy he's going to be, though. Like, I'll tell you this right now. Like, you're gonna bring him on there, you're going to think that he's going to be the next Trevor Ariza, who the Lakers were talking about wanting to try to get as well. But I feel like that would hurt your team more than it will help.
Well, I was just joking. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, I know we're, waiting for the Knicks to buy out, Wes Matthews, and then, we might be trying to get Nikola Mirotic from the Pelicans. So, I mean, like I said, I'm okay with where we are. I just think we need like one or two pieces to compete. But I mean, ultimately, I think the trade deadline, like you said, always exciting, and I'm looking to see, what else can be done.
I mean, the best thing that can happen for us is doing a trade deadline recap after the deadline is over.
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea. And I think the people would enjoy it. It'd be exactly what they need, and they should look out for it.
But let us know what you think out there in the comments. Which stories are pure speculation? Which ones have some meat to its bones that could potentially actually happen before Thursday's deadline? I believe the trade deadline ends at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Are there any trades that we didn't talk about that, caught your peak? Like, let us know. The Trade Machine is always available on ESPN.com, so make sure you check that out. Become your own GM. See about your team. See what combinations that you can do to help out your team, or help out a team, or hurt a team.
Right.
So just let us know in the comments, ladies and gentlemen.
But yeah, so I think the people should definitely look out for more content from Doc and Prof, Debate Amongst Friends, and this has been the NBA trade deadline preview. Stand by for the recap.